Hey everybody, welcome to Epic Time. This is, I just realized I don't have my glasses on. Man, I thought I was so ready. This is Epic Time. This is the 10th of August. This is day number 9, our noon show. Now that we are live, everybody knows, that's been watching this knows I need a second so I can share everything and get going. Oops. Oh, it's so funny, man. It just, the show is coming through on my, it's going to be a little delayed, I guess, but I don't know, that's kind of cool. So people that are here are going to actually hear it on the speakers, I think, for the first time, because we're trying to figure out what we're doing and how there's a motorcycle running a course. Welcome to the rally! That's how it works. I'll move my microphone. Ah, dang, as soon as I get set up to have it going, then it doesn't work. So we are in day 9. I just got one more button, share. We're all good. So I don't know if it's on here or not. It's probably going to be delayed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to myself talk because it's on a delayed program. So I might have to turn it down. How's the sound out there, Hydro?
It sounds alright, but then it just
Yeah, it's off. So I'm gonna get rid of that on my screen.
the delays are.
Yeah, because I need to talk on the microphone anyhow. So we're learning as we go. It's kind of funny to be out here and doing this. I got to get my partner in crime here. First I'm going to share a camera so you can see him, because then when I ask him to do something, you know who I'm talking to. So, because I'm going to ask Hydro for something, he's going to laugh at me because I was just bragging about how ready we are before the show. And he's like, "You got 5 minutes," and I'm like, "I'm ready." But Hydro, would you do me a favor and grab my glasses out of my container on my bike? I think on the right side, yeah. You know, I guess I'm old enough that I can't operate very well. I have cheaters in my sunglasses, but if I'm going to use the cheaters, then I got to sit like this to do the whole show, and I think that's pretty awful. So I'm going to put my old man glasses on, as the kids call them, and I'll go from there. So we have the option here to rip on a few people. We got live, so if you see me switch microphones like this a little bit, it's because we want to hassle somebody walking by. We tried the noon show here because it's much busier. So I'd appreciate if anybody wants to share this. We have people coming up for donations. It's because they're, you know, I think it's because of the kids, not because I'm just a handsome fella. But we're having a good time. People trying to win the bike. I got a pen for you, Hydro. We're not quite prepared for everything. Bear with me. If somebody wants to come and donate to the cause, we're making sure they can, one way or another. Yeah, so we're all good. I thank you, my friend. Here I got a pen and a paper. We're good. So, we're on day 9. You want to talk about people in this, these riders of the Hoka Hey on day 9. Just check this out. These are coming in. These are people that are coming into, you know, the checkpoint. Let's see, the checkpoint would be somewhere right about here, I would think. Let's see. Nope. That's not it. Somebody's at the dispensary. So Roof Rat's at the dispensary, chilling out. I don't know what he's doing there, but that's what the tracker does. Shows people at all kinds of things. There it is. I do think that's funny that somebody's at the dispensary. There's the checkpoints. Captain Ron, Gator, and Dan are all chilling right now. And you can kind of tell where the bikes are at. You know, Gator is checking in, doing his paperwork, guaranteed. Dan is over here chilling, taking a nap, doing his thing in the shade. So, you know, that's pretty awesome to see. And you saw people checking in because they're realizing now that if they're not to the halfway point, if they're not here, they're really going to have a hard time making it. Here is a monster rider right here, Aaron. So he's rolling up to the checkpoint. Aaron Utsi, great rider. He's finding out how hard this route really is. Same with Terry right behind him. You know, another great rider. So these are some really, really good riders. And it really shows you, you know, the level. And I don't think anybody, gauging from their numbers that you see on this screen, anybody with these numbers, I don't think they've seen a Hoka Hey like this. And they're probably rethinking their decision or something, you know, like, dang, like this is what it is. I don't see any numbers that would be low enough to have ridden in 16 14, 13, anything like that. They're just a little bit different game, and some people had it a little different. Here's Ken Brooks right here, 902. So there's a lot of riders. Again, if anybody wants to see a rider, in particular, just peg their name in and I'll type it up and show off where they're at, what they're doing. It's complete chaos right now. Riders are folding. I believe there are close to 60 riders are out right now. And like I said yesterday and the day before, you're really going to see a mass exodus of the ride come Thursday, because they're going to realize they're not going to come in on Sunday. People will keep on riding. If they're going to come in on Sunday, they'll keep pegging. They'll miss the party. They just want to finish. So that's that. They want to finish. They want to do their thing, and they're going to keep going. But if they realize they're going to need another week or 2 weeks on the road, that's a whole nother story. People don't have the vacation time. They don't have the ability to do that, and it's just not feasible. So, don't bang anybody for having a job. If you got something to get back to and you don't have a choice, that's all you can do. And, that's it. So it's fun to see them. Anybody out here, I've said it 100 times, they've really done something right to make it to this point. And the riders that are well past the halfway point, if I'm guessing by who's going to make it, this is the line right here. I would say your Taco, Seraphin, I think that's going to be the edge of if you can get in. And things have to go your way. You really got to dig deep and really pound hard. You can't take a half a day off. You can't take a day off. You can't do anything if you plan to make the end of the road party. It is not it at all. And that's that. So it's just crazy to see how many, tap out. They realize it's not coming. So, whatever it is, there's still a lot doing it. And I don't care about the people who not that I don't care about them, but I'm not monitoring the people that are gone. That's not my mission. I don't care to call anybody out. I don't care if it's 60, 70, 80, whatever it is. These people right here are what I'm focusing on, and that's that. There are great riders that are doing it, great, having great luck. They've got great skill, and they're still mentally giving it their all. So, yeah, people are going to fail, people are going to go. That's easy to find out, but that's not the story. The story of the Hoka Hey Challenge is not failure. It's about conquering, overcoming, and, doing the best you can. You giving it 100%, riding with some integrity, not riding with your GPS on so you can see the roads, which I don't care what anyone says, that's not a map. That is a GPS pegs you. I've talked about this in several shows. It's just not the answer. So if you're riding with a GPS and you're doing really good and you got an excuse why, I can't get a map mounted, I'm using it I'm just using it to check my mileage and verify some things. That's bullshit. You're using it to see the roads that are coming up so you make turns, faster. And it's just not, it's not the same ride as Raindrop, Soup, Houseworth. We're out there, following a map, following the turn-by-turn directions. And when they get off, they're asking people where they're going. This is my friend Gopher right here. We'll zoom in and I'll show you somebody who is not in it. You taking off?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you're leaving today.
Yes.
All right, man. It's good to see you. Awesome, man. Thank you. But here is Gopher, and this is not the route. The route isn't on I-40, but Gopher's home is off of I-40. So there he goes. And what happened to Gopher was his motorcycle fell over on his ankle, on his leg, and did some damage. To the point, he's a little worried he might get a cast. And in typical Gopher fashion, who's tough as hell, he's tough as hell. So what he does is goes home. If I got to get a cast, I want to do that when I'm at home. So he's up in the panhandle of Texas right now, going across there, heading towards Amarillo. But, he's just a beast of a guy, and it's just fun to watch him. I'll watch Gopher go. I hope they leave his tracker on until he gets home, for all I care. It's fun. But these other riders down here that are out here, killing it. There's Roadrunner and Teeter. They've been in the top 5 the whole way. There's Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan has won it before. Clearly he knows what he's doing. I talked to him before the ride, and it was kind of cool. He's riding a Pan Am that's not been around the block for him. So they know the fuel pump gives you problems. They know the fuel pump is going to go out at 25,000 miles, whatever it is. So he carried a fuel pump with him, and I guess he had to change it on the road in Oklahoma. And I thought that was kind of funny. I'm not much of a mechanic. Maybe a fuel pump is super easy, maybe it's not. But I've never pulled a bike over and went to work on it on the side of the road and wherever you happen to be. And I saw the pictures, and he was literally just in the ditch, just rode in the ditch, put the kickstand down and worked on it. That's not like pulling to a Circle K and getting underneath the awning and, you know, being in the shade and having people bring you, you know, ice waters and Gatorades out there to help you. You know, it's out there in the field. So he had planned for that, and he had planned to work on the chain, another issue with the Pan Ams. So I guess if you're going to ride a Pan Am, and they have a lot of advantages to a Pan Am, but there are crazy disadvantages too, and that's one of them. You got to know what they're going to have go wrong with that fuel pump. You got to have one with you, and you got to know how to put it in. And I think that's pretty epic. So that's for sure. But out front is Nancy. She rides for Mile Monsters, and we got Teeter and Roadrunner. So on the top 6, we have half the field as Monsters, and Ridgeway and Dash are right behind them. Don't turn around on these two right here. They are going to be cranking it up. They have the endurance it takes to really push it. And here's Frankie. Frankie is also doing a great job, Rolo, better known as, but she did get a speeding ticket, so she won't be a finisher. She is just riding the ride to prove something to herself and to keep raising money for our heroes that she rides for. And I think it's really cool that she's doing that, because she had enough integrity to stand up and say, shit, I got a ticket. You know, my suck just turned into oh shit. And it's a bummer, but you know, I have mad respect for anybody that steps up and says, I got a ticket. Here it is. I know that's gonna make it where I am not a finisher. Hey, Hydro. Hey, Hydro. Hey, will you answer this for me? It's a tire guy. Or brake guy. Just tell him to do whatever it takes. So, it might be on Bluetooth, the wrong one. So anyhow, sorry about that, but my truck's getting brakes put on. Evidently, I drive a little crazy, and my brakes are wore out, so Tires Plus is doing it. Whatever it needs. Yeah, so I just want to make sure my brakes get good, because I got a long drive home. I got a trailer. I got 2 bikes in there, a big load. So, you know, nowadays nobody working on anything wants to do it without your, you know, saying. I drop it off. I tell them, hey, I need brakes, whatever needs. So it's all good. But back to the tickets. I know that people get tickets and just stuff them in their pocket and forget about it. That's not what this ride is about, you know. I had a nice talk yesterday with a Hoka Hey rider, an American Indian who has a different view on it. He's tried to follow Jim Red Cloud's, you know, way of doing it. So I didn't ask him if I could talk about him personally, so I don't want to say names, but he's a very respected elder in the community, I would say, and very respective, you know, within the indigenous community, and he's just a good guy, and he has got a good way of looking at things. And I had a good talk with him yesterday about what the ride is supposed to be, the integrity and honor you're supposed to have riding it, and what Jim Red Cloud was trying to get people to do, you know. And it's, yes, any human wants to do really good, wants to win, but it should not be at the cost of your integrity, your honor. That can't be. You know, you should want to do this based on your ability and not your ability to navigate the rules, navigate, you know, this and that. And, you know, I might be learning more from not riding the Hoka Hey than I ever did from riding it. And it seems hard, but you get a different view, you get a because I've been on this side, you know, I'm pointing to a screen. I've been on that side of it, and a lot. I have, you know, 40, 50,000 miles of Hoka Hey under my belt. I know what these people feel. But now sitting back and looking at it and understanding a little better and letting things sink in about what's important and what's not, because you get a different take on things when you're on the outside looking in than when you're on the inside looking out. And things that make me super, super angry maybe shouldn't, you know, and maybe you're riled up about it and you're not riding your ride. You're more worried about what somebody else is doing than what you're doing. But, you know, I hope that people can get back to the meaning of it and the purpose of it, and have this ride be a touching, spiritual moment, if you know, put it like that, of a ride where you find a little bit of your missing soul while you're out on the road, alone, by yourself, lonely highways, countless miles of things that just are uncomfortable. You know, you got to find a place to sleep. You're not looking on your app for the nearest Best Western like I do when I'm not competing. You know, you're looking for a place that's safe, a place you can call home for 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. But it's got to be pretty good. And this outside looking in is a very different perspective, and I really like it. And it's fun to learn a little bit from it. And I'm learning things from these riders as well. How you guys doing? Good. And so I'm learning something from these riders riding it, and I think that's the key to life. You always got to grow and you always got to learn, and sometimes, you know, you got to sit back and do a little self-evaluation. You know, what could I do different? What could I do better, worse, you know, whatever. And then maybe, you know, I can take that and use it for something else. Even if I never ride another Hoka Hey challenge again, at least I could take something I learned from these riders and apply it to my everyday life, another ride, another thing I'm doing for the kids, whatever that is. But here's Smokey and the Bandit right here. Let's see what they got. Matt with them, another Hoka Hey rider. Who else is back there? It looks like a pretty big group right here. 1343. I really got to zoom in, so they're super tight. You have 3 riders there, and they're really doing epic riding here. Just look at how crazy these roads are. Just look at the map right there, where there's no riders in this whole area. But just pick one, any road. They're all crazy, twisty roads. So these riders that are doing this are just mad, crazy roads. And yes, we'll zoom in on this particular road they're on and show you how curvy this section is, but they're all like that. I said it before, you're getting through there, there's a bunch of mountains and craziness around. It's just madness, and it's really awesome. And I don't know, we gotta look on here because I gotta see where Mandy is. I don't know, evidently Amy did something, I don't know. Let's see. All right, somebody asked me about Bandit before I do that. So where is that? I didn't hear her thing stopping.
Yeah.
Bandit. Unless her tracker's not working, because I guarantee you there she is. So her tracker's not working. So there is no way that tracker's not working. I'll guarantee you that, because Smokey is her husband, and he is never going to leave her for any reason, unless he had to go get parts or something like that. There's no way. So the tracker's not catching up. There's some makeup to this system. They will never, ever be apart. The Smokey and the Bandit, they are happily married. He loves her more than life itself. He is not going to ride anywhere without her. He will be right behind her. It'll be Smokey chasing the Bandit until the end. So if you're watching the Bandit, that is not going to be accurate unless he went ahead to get something. That would be the only way, or if she was doing something that was very close down the road, there'd be a very good reason for it. But that's definitely something. So you don't have to worry about those guys. They're a great group, and Smokey is very security minded and quite capable of taking care of himself and protecting her. So if there's 2 riders out on the road I worry about less. They'd be hard pressed to find them. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. It is Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, that is where it came from. They ride together, and it's just kind of funny. So really, really good humor. And let's see. I saw the goat must put something. I missed it. Yeah, here's the goat. You're lucky if it's a Best Western. Go to the right. Yeah, I use Best Western, but sometimes it's a. I am known for stopping at the Scud motels. That's for sure. Nothing is very nice, and sometimes it's a little. I don't know what do you say, dirty, dumpy, something. So it's all good. But this is a lot of fun to watch. I gotta say, everybody's kind of a little tore up about the who's who and what group they're in. And somebody I saw on Facebook, I wish I could claim this, and I should have wrote down who it was that commented, but somebody commented on a Hoka Hey page or group that they wish all the riders in Group 1 were one color and all the riders in Group 2 were another color. And I instantly thought, yeah, that makes sense. And, if somebody gets a big lead, put them in black. I could see when they're all together and one's overlapping, but somebody's way out front. Yost has been out front the whole time. He's in black, and it's super easy for me to find. So that's kind of fun. Where the other group, there's been different riders all the way, and so it's much harder. But when they're out in front, I think it'd be fun to make them whatever color, different colors. So that's kind of fun. But it would be nice to know, like, I know this is the Southern group because that's the line of riders. So I know this is they were the Northern group, now they're heading for their Southern end. These people here are all coming up from the East Coast, and they're going to be going down. So that's kind of, let's see, not all of them, depends on where you're at. So see how confusing that gets? And that's somebody who's looked at trackers since 2016. So if this is your first Hoka Hey and you're like, oh, this is really neat. When we ran one line around the country, it's usually eastern side or western side, big chunk of it. Very rarely do we go way east or way west because it just takes too many miles to get there. But it's really crazy to see it, even when it's a straight line circle around the western part of the country. How it gets hard to follow because it gets so spread out because the people are coming in and somebody's so far behind that it covers the whole country with the things, and that's when it's a straight line. So this is craziness to see, and how awesome it is to try to figure out. And if you're a rider and you're looking, like, these riders who are taking the time to look at their tracker, they're confusing themselves in these areas where they're overlapping with the other route, whatever. So that's going to take its toll on them as well. So, not everybody is riding without electronics. Not everybody is riding and following every rule to the T. And that's on them. What are you going to do? Somebody chooses to use a GPS and have it turned on. These bikes all have it on the, built into them. It's not very tough to look at your screen when you're confused, lost, tired, whatever. So it is what it is. Somebody has a Garmin, mounted on their handlebars, that's on them. So teach their own. I just want to talk about how cool everybody's doing, and then the Hoka Hey can sort out, who didn't follow the route, who did, because it's just a lot of hearsay, really. People say so-and-so didn't follow the route here or there. I mean, I'm watching the route, and I don't have the route. I would have liked to have the route so I could really be like, oh, here's an overlay of it, and yes, they did miss it. But that's not my job. I don't work for the Hoka Hey. I'm trying to just promote riding and trying to promote this ride. And one of the main reasons I like to promote it, other than it just being a straight badass ride to test you to your limits, both physically and mentally, we have 60 riders in there, and it is a great way to reach the public about what Mile Monsters does, how we help these kids live their best life, how we got Brody in Kansas a wheelchair attachment that goes on the front of it that has electric power, so it has like another wheel out in front, and he can steer it. And he did a 5K this past weekend on that, so that's the kind of thing that's really cool, and how Mile Monsters can, have people show up and have a birthday party for Tunes out in Virginia, or organize it for, Gavin to go swimming with the manatee in Florida. This is what funds those things, and this year we have another big thing we're trying to do, and that's get a handicap accessible van for our boy Brody. We gave him what we call the Band-Aid van. He has a van right now that's a great help to the family, but we want to take that van back for the next family and get him a new one that's going to last him for years to come. So that's why these guys are doing this, and that's why they're so like the connection with it, and why their drive is so hard. They're giving it their all, and not just because they want to prove it to themselves, but they want to prove it to the boys too, and all the people watching that, they're doing their best. And I know she meant Mile, so I'm gonna put up Mile Monsters doing epic things to help our heroes. We do that. We help them live their life in a bunch of different ways. And if you're new to this, you're tuning in, you don't know exactly what we do, we're like another foundation that provides a wish to people, except we're bikers and we don't have any rules. I mean, the world is filled with guidelines at best for us on a regular, everyday basis, and helping these kids is no different. So we're telling all kinds of people here at Sturgis what we do, and I tell them, like, we're like another organization, except we don't have any rules. And if a kid wants to shoot a machine gun, we're going to find a machine gun for him to shoot. If he wants to swim with the manatee, we'll go find when the manatee is there and take him swimming. If they want to, go hunting, if they want to meet a celebrity, whatever that is. And some kids want the simplest of things. What do you want? Oh, you know what I'd really like? I'd really like some of these things from Amazon that are, just household things, like things you wouldn't even think a kid would even think of, let alone put on a list of wants. We do that. And like Turbo out in California, he's got a Hot Wheel collection that was super badass, but it was filling their room, overwhelming their house. We got him a rental unit. We pay the bill every month to have a rental unit, and then we equipped it with an electric battery pack generator. Doesn't need gas, so he's got lights, power, everything he needs out there when he's out there doing his thing. So that's super cool. So it's really, really fun, and fun to help them get the little things in life that really makes them smile and makes them, oh, somebody dumped their bike right in the parking lot. I gotta get the other mic on. Why is it when I tip my bike over, nobody's there to help me? The hydro went right out there. Where's the camera? It's just off camera by it might have been on camera. No, it was off camera by just a little bit. Nobody's ever there to help me when my bike falls. It just tips over and that's it. So that's the joy. Yesterday there was some guy doing a burnout next to us. Next time a guy was doing a burnout yesterday and his bike tipped over right next to us. He stood it up and did it again. So that was kind of funny. I really wanted to pass a little more, but that guy doesn't want to hear it. But anyhow, no, I really lost my train of thought. So it's kind of funny. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is it right here, too. This is a prime example. You want to know what Mile Monsters does? Gavin on his list for Christmas. Every year we ask the boys what they want for Christmas. What can we get you? The goat's list was a sink. Who in the hell at that age has a sink as a list? That tells you how DMD has affected their lives, and they think different. I never thought about a sink for Gavin, and he said he wanted a sink that he could roll up to wash his hands by himself, not to have somebody wash his damn hands by himself, to help him do that. He wanted to do it by himself. A sink. Like, it's crazy. And then, of course, in typical construction fashion, it's not just a sink. We had to remodel the bathroom to get a handicap accessible sink installed into his bathroom. So that's been, go to Bill to tell you, they got a house, and, that had to be, what's that? Their house has been remodeled 2 times, 3 times maybe, since they moved in. it's really cool. And yeah, he got other stuff too, but he wanted a sink, and I think that says a lot. And kids shouldn't be thinking about sinks, but that's what having DMD does. But the cool thing about our heroes are, they think about things they need because of DMD, but they're also thinking about things that are really cool because they get to do cool things, go to do fun stuff, and their brain's always working about, man, like I got a group of people that'll make shit happen, and they're gonna make unbelievable memories. I just got to think of what it is because some things we don't even think of, and if it's not us doing it directly, we have made friends, we have connections, we have followers, we have sponsors that step up and say, hey man, we'll pay for that, we'll do that. And here's Brody's mom tuning in. Another example, like Brody wanted a ramp, so he could go in and out the front door, not have to go out a different door. Just think about that. If you're the only one in your family that can't go to the front door, like if that will get to you mentally, because now that people are looking at you differently than they are with your siblings or your parents, just because you can't go out the door. So what we did was, we provided them a concrete company to come out and install the ramp, and they put a new sidewalk in and new steps going up to the ramp, and then they put an edge on the driveway. So that's why I'm so interested in these riders promoting what they do, because they're out there literally risking their lives to help make the world better. And I think that is awesome. So it makes me happy. It really does. That to think back to 2018, my first Hoka Hey, and I was just me, and now fast forward to here and we have 60 riders starting out on this. That's just overwhelming, feeling of joy and pride. So it's super cool. And the Hoka Hey is an event that draws people in because it is a challenge. It's not, something that is just, another ride, another charity ride on Sunday morning where we're going to go to this place and that place and we're going to raise a few $100s. This is not it. This is an extreme challenge. Yeah, and that's good. I put that comment up before I even read what it was. Yeah, she did see somebody do a burnout in front of a bar, and it was a hardtail chopper, and when it hooked up and caught traction, launched like a rocket right out of some guy's hands. And since then, she started dating higher quality people and then ended up with me. So I don't know who that guy was, but it's pretty pathetic. The guy can't sit on a motorcycle and horse around without launching it into a crowded bar, doing $2,000 in damage to said fence and knocking over $3,000 worth of drinks out of 150 people's hands. So that's awesome. We got Chad saying hello. He is busy watching his bride, riding, and I just saw her name. So where is she? Right here. She's ripping along. There's Frosty and Value coming along, whatever road that is, but they're working their way down. They're just behind Ronimo. They keep giving it their all, and it's wearing on you when you watch people you care about. It really is, and it's hard to watch, and it's hard for me to watch such good friends of mine and people that I really care about out there on this side of the fence. Damn, it's exhausting. Watch as I wake up in the morning, I'm like, dang, I gotta watch, I gotta do this, I gotta check how they doing. They sleep okay, they get up okay, everything good, not any problems, and I'm all in, even though I'm not even in, and it really makes it fun. So there's somebody asking about 1184. Let's see where they're at. 1184. All right, Mick, where you at? He's up in Michigan. He's taking the northern route. Either that, he's really slow from the southern. They should be on the southern route, but I don't think that's the case. Coming on down. Oh, he's doing really good, man. Mick is right behind Crispin. If you look up somebody's tracker and they are anywhere near rider 190, they're all in, because that dude is all in. So if you see that name anywhere around to your friends or family, they're doing a hell of a job, because that guy is going to give it his all. He's going to give it 100%. Not saying that's going to make him win, but it's definitely, he's not going to ever look back at a route and say, man, I wish I would have gave it more. I wish I would have tried harder. I wish I could have, done this or done that. He's just going to give it his all and do it. And that is a big plus to doing a ride like this. So you want to see where the Toolies are at. All right, here is Toolie, because it's the only one, but Gypsy should be with her. I don't think she ditched Mom, but actually, what did I hear? Oh, there's Gypsy right there. So Gypsy's right there. She's got ahead of her a little bit, but that's it. And these might be off a little bit. But typically when you see farmland like this, you know that they're going to get good cell service too, unless it's way out west. But this part of the country, I would guess they're pretty good. And they are heading up. They are just straight east of where I used to live. So now they're heading up north, and this is the part that gets them. They're going to have a lot of fun when they come up. It's a lot of fun. All right, now let's check the boy out. We've checked out Gypsy. Gypsy is the mom. If you're just tuning in, this is your first time listening to me and my babbling about the ride. There's Mom. Oh, he's right there. I go to zoom in to find out where he is. We have a full family affair. Here's Mom, here's daughter, and here's son. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that is a great ride right there. Their goal was to get Mom across the finish line and stay with them, and it really is a great story. I mean, it's not about a couple of kids who talked Mom into going for a ride called the Hoka Hey Challenge. This is about a mom that got into it, and the kids joined down the road, and I think that's super, super cool. We're going to check on Gritty in 1 second, but before I do, I want to show you a picture from yesterday. I couldn't get to work yesterday, but here is Samuel at the Faces. This is the kid that we just adopted for an hour. I don't know, adopted is probably a bad word. More like we kidnapped him for we kidnapped him for an hour. So that was kind of fun. The kid was all about it, man. He asked us to go to lunch. Thought that was pretty funny. He's like, we went to lunch, and I just want to show you a quick picture too. This is Hydro here working it. He's really working the booth hard, but you know, I got to keep an eye on him, because sometimes he's just off doing his own thing and changing clothes. And, and now if you look at the screen, that's his first view of me razzing him. So I don't know what happened, but I'm here trying to get set up. I'm always on time. I got everything organized. He's back there like, you know, doing his own thing. And then he jumps out there like, oh, well, that's right. We got a show to do. So anyhow, and as you can tell, he's a pretty big boy. So if you just see a random hand come over and drop me off the chair, and then the gremlin next door is going to be, you know, showing us how to run the show, that'd be pretty funny. So yeah, I bribed him. I bribed him to be on the, you know, going back to Samuel. I bribed him to be on the show. That's for sure. I couldn't. He was a little shy, and you know how kids are. It takes him a hot minute to warm up to you, and that's how he was. He was taking a hot minute to warm up. I bribed him with the $20. I didn't have the 20 minutes it was going to take to get him to warm up, because the show was going to start. So we did it, and we got it going, and it was really fun. And yeah, yesterday we caught him snoring. So I don't know, like I think sometimes that people take some time off, take a little snore. There's no pictures of me taking my nap yesterday. And nobody knew where I was. Right behind me, right on the ground, there's a table set up right there. I just literally crawled underneath the table, took my jacket, laid it down, took a pair of pants, rolled them up as a pillow, and took a little snooze. So that was pretty funny. And that's cute, Gabby. You need 7 to 14 days. That's a line of shit. You need a year or two before Gavin warms up the proper. Man, Gavin's one of my favorites people in the world. And the first 5 times I met him, he's like, hey, dude, man, I don't know you. I haven't quite figured you out yet. Yeah, that's great. I'll take a picture with you because Mom's making me or bribing me with candy, but I'm not talking to you. I'm not hanging out with you. Peace out. And then you give it a year or two later, he's riding around the country and terrorizing the roads and having everything, you know, totally different. So 7 to 14 days. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that might be at a minimum. He might have warmed up to some other people that fast, but definitely not me. Maybe Twister, but that's about it. So I gotta readjust the screen because the toolies are going so fast. They're going so fast they can't even keep up the screen with them. But that road there on 35 is right across the river from my daughter's house. It's a beautiful road and it's really good. Yeah, that's it, dude. Gave him an iPad so he talked to me. Yeah, I had to bribe him a little bit, but you know, this road is really awesome to ride up. This is Taylor's Falls, and right here is the St. Croix River, and we go jumping off the cliffs into the water there. It's really a beautiful area all through here. So what they're riding on, I am super familiar with. I've been on all kinds of rides, and this is where I am a little bit jealous of what they're doing, and so it's a lot of fun to see. And these people up here are up by Lake Superior, and you got to remember they were just in Oklahoma area, Texas, where it was hot as hell. Now they're up here going, man, these damn Yankees got it made in the summertime. You need a jacket on in the morning, and you know, now they're understanding why us Vikings like to stay up north. So everybody over here is just killing it. These people are all going to make it to the end, you know, without a doubt. There's Tomcat and Hyde together. That's great. I do got to check on Big Balls Matt. He hasn't changed his name yet. Come on, Matt, get with it. He's in Illinois. And he's passed a lot of people and really ripping it well. And, you know, there he goes. So out of the checkpoint, and he's heading south.
Yeah.
So if you think about what he had to do to get where he's at, that is a story that is going to be shared for some time. You know, one, he had the you know, integrity to realize there was a mistake and go back. And then when he went back, he did all of it, went back and stayed with it. So this is a lot of miles, and he's got a lot more miles. So he's very motivated individual. So I can't wait to shake his hand. I shared his Venmo yesterday. So if anybody wants to buy him a tank of gas, don't be bashful. If anybody needs it again, I can put it in the comments when we're done here. No problem. If anybody wants to help any of our riders out, you know, you can go to Mile Monsters Inc. You can see how to donate right to them, and they will get that. And let's see, there we go. MileMonstersInc.com. You scroll down to the Hoka Hey section. The riders opens up. You'll see all 60 riders there. You just select your rider you want to support, and it really brightens their day. You know, it motivates them to keep going hard. They see that numbers climbing up. They know they're doing it. I'm telling you from experience, there's nothing more motivating than getting your ass whooped by the roads, but seeing your numbers climbing up and you're raising money. And then you hit 5,000, 6,000, and every milestone. I hit a checkpoint once, and my wife called the dealership and had them print out the dollar amount. And it was super awesome to do that. And it was really incredible feeling you get from it. So that's really cool. So let's see. Yeah, exactly. The locals like, wait, what? But figured out. There it is. That's all I got for today. Anybody else got anything? I saw somebody had Claire on there. What's Claire's she's not in her Claire, I don't think. Anybody know Claire's number off the top of their head? They can put it that. I don't. And I had well, as you stare at the map, I'll just babble for a second and I'll see if I can find her number. So, whatever. I can't get it up, so we're all good. So we're good. Let's see, am I missing anything else? Those riders are doing incredibly well, riding with each other, around each other, doing it really cool. So it's a lot of fun to watch. But keep an eye on these people. Keep an eye on where they're at right now, day 9. You know, at the end of day 14, they want to be here. That's their goal. End of day 14 is the goal, right there. Like the riders that are coming in right now to here, I don't see it happening. I don't see any of these riders making it, and sometimes you have to accept the fact that it's not happening. you can't make up that kind of time in a manner that you're not increasing your risk of serious injury, tenfold, and that's not worth it. I want to cross the finish line, but maybe I'm a bad example. But most people want to cross the finish line, but they don't want to do it at the risk of their life to do it. So, and that's why I think you're going to see some people holding out of here on Thursday. You're going to see it because they want to be here next Saturday. And if they're down here, wherever this road is, if you're down here, wherever it came through, and you're at that end coming down and you got to go to there, they're going to just peel out and go that way because they have to get back to work. That's just how it is. So don't bang on people. They're not quitters. They're people who have a job and they have something to get back to. They have a family to take care of. They have a mortgage to pay, and that's just how it is. There we go. There's Claire. Claire is in Indiana. She is right now currently stopped at a farm in Indiana, getting something to eat and getting gas at Denny's grocery. It'd be so fun. I wish it was like you could predict where they're going to be at. It'd be super funny to call ahead and be like, pay for somebody's gas when they pump it. You tell the clerk, can you turn pump 7 on for Claire and fill that up and just tell her it's paid? That'd be kind of fun, but it doesn't work like that. There was a year that somebody talked to me through the speakers, and it was an owner of a gas station who was at home watching the Hoka Hey and talked to me, Gopher, Indiana Jim, Fish, and one other guy. And the guy started talking over his speaker, and I thought he was inside the gas station. So I said, thank you. He's telling us where we're at. He goes, oh, you guys are killing it. We've been watching you. We were laughing at you when you took that wrong turn back there. And so I thought it was the cashier. And I thought, well, that's kind of fun. I'll go in there and talk to this guy, shake his hand. And I said, hey, man, you have a good one. And I go in, I get my Gatorade. I said, man, which one of you guys was I talking to out there? And they all looked at me and said, oh, you were talking to any of us. I said, well, who the hell am I talking to? God's not coming over the speaker. And he said, that's the owner of the gas station. He owns like 4 gas stations. He was a real big, motorcycle enthusiast, follows the Hoka Hey Challenge, was so excited that these riders were stopping at his gas station. He's at home with the ability to connect to his stores to talk to people right over the speaker, and that just blew my mind. So I'm like, my little hillbilly brain almost melted down right on the spot. I'm like, wait, what? That guy lives on some other part of Texas, and he's talking to me here about something I'm doing, and it's like I said yesterday, here we are sitting at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, educating people on Duchenne muscular dystrophy, incredible heroes we ride for, these awesome monsters, and we're watching them live ride around the country. I just think that technology is just straight awesomeness, and it's just crazy to think that it just seems natural to us, like, oh, this is just normal. We have the ability to get internet because I have a little pan shaped thing that sits on top of my motorcycle seat, and I can get internet like I'm at home, and I just take it for granted. But this is all things that are incredible to watch, and this is how this ride has evolved. Think back in 2010, nobody's doing anything like this. They're like, oh, people know too much, follow too much. Yeah, well, guess what? Damn world changes, technology changes. Embrace it, celebrate it, show what's happening out there, and celebrate these riders. Nobody watching my show, listening to me talk, is getting an advantage of any kind about where they're going because they can do all this themselves. So anyhow, I'm just trying to talk up the ride, talk up the people. Looking at Big Balls Matt, I don't know if he's got the time to get it. He's behind the line of my prediction of who's going to make it in. I would think that Big Balls Matt and everybody, I would guess we're, somewhere around Rob. I'm hoping this whole group can do it as well, but somewhere around Taco and Rob Servin is my guess. It's strictly a guess of who can get there by the end of Saturday night, not the beginning of Saturday. I don't think that's the cutoff for that, but the rest of them, I think they do. So, I hope that all the way back here can make it to the finish line. I sure hope they can, but I don't know for sure. Time will tell. But if I had to bet on, somebody that has a chance at making it from the back, further back in the pack, is right here. Big Balls Matt, I'm not putting any money on him not making it to Saturday's party. I'll never, as long as I live, bet against that dude, and I don't care what anybody told me. I'm not betting against them. So that's that. Yeah, we got to get a banner, a patch, something for Big Balls Matt, and it's got to be his new road name. And you can help yourself to anything. Got a bunch of people gathering around. I just out there educating everybody on what's going on. You can see him on the camera there. It was really nice too because he got busy right while I was showing pictures of him, so he hasn't had a chance to hit me yet. So I'm hoping that we don't. So how is everybody doing? Good? That's awesome. It's fun to see people come up and learn about the kids we ride for and why we do the stupid things we do. And the people who have more wrinkles in their brain definitely think we're nuts. And I say we got a smooth side for sure. Just the brain's a little slick over here. We think that's normal. So I think that's pretty funny. So, that's life. But we're out of here. I was trying to keep this at a half hour, but I talk too much, show too much, and get sidetracked. So I'll try to get medicated for tonight and keep it a little dialed in. But with that, we're out of here. Please keep all these riders in your prayers. Keep what they're doing in your thoughts, your prayers. Pulling for them, cheering them on, donating to their cause. Have some fun with it. And remember that they are out there giving it all. They're not numbers on a screen with a funny name. They are real people out there doing really real things that are real dangerous. And they're doing it, the vast majority of them are doing it for somebody else. And that's epic, and that's why we follow it. So with that, I'm out of here, and to my wife, I love you. I can't wait to see you. To everybody else, much love and respect. Peace. I almost flipped you off because I got a microphone in my hand.